This video is all about the last topic in our first quarter, which is worded problems or solving number problems. Okay? So, before we proceed with problems, so let's have our warm-ups. Okay? So, you are going to solve the following using any method. So, we all know that we have three methods on how you are going to solve for the system of linear equations. So, we have graphing, substitution, and elimination. So, instead of using graphing or graphical method, so let us just focus in substitution and elimination or the algebraic solutions or algebraic methods. Okay? For number 1, we are given the system y equals x minus 6 and 3x minus 2y equals 7. So, you are going to choose either substitution or elimination. Which of those two methods is more applicable and more appropriate for you to solve this given system? Okay, which do you think is the more appropriate method? Yes, so we have to use substitution since we have here y is equal to x minus 6. Okay, so try to solve this on your notebook. Okay, so I hope you're done. So we have the solution which is negative 5, negative 11. Okay, do you have the same answer? Okay, so let's have the second example. We have the system is x minus y equals 5 and 2x minus 3y equals 7. Okay, so what method do you think is more appropriate? Yes, we have to use elimination method. Okay? So, you have to do something. But, since we haven't seen any term which have the opposite coefficients or additive inverse, so you are going to do something. So, you are going to think of a number that you are going to multiply in either equation 1 or equation 2 for you to have the opposite coefficients. Okay? Yes, it is more applicable if you are going to multiply equation 1 by negative 2. Okay? So, again, multiply equation 1 by negative 2. Then, you will have another equation. Then, you can now perform elimination method. Okay? So, continue solving on your notebook. Okay? So, I hope you're done. So, what is your answer? Okay, so let's see. So we have 8, 3 is correct. Okay, next, for the third one, we have the system 4x plus 5y equals 12 and 4x plus 3y equals 4. Okay, so what method do you think is more applicable? Yes, that is elimination method. So you are going to multiply is either equation 1 or equation 2 by negative 1 since we already have positive 4 as the coefficient of x. Okay? So continue solving by multiplying either equation 1 or equation 2 by negative 1 by using elimination method. Then you can solve for y, then x. So your answer now is? Okay, we have negative 2, positive 4 is the correct answer. Okay, so I hope you have recalled how you are going to perform the operations or how you are going to solve for the system of linear equations in two variables. Okay, so this day, we are going to have word problems. Oh, so our objective is for you to solve word problems involving systems of equations. So we have different kinds of problems. Okay, so but this time we are going to have first the number problem. So we are going to solve for numbers. Okay, so let us have first the different clue words or phrases on the operations that you are going to use. So we have words that mean add are the following. So we have the first is sum, then plus, increased by, added to, and more than. So if you have seen these words or phrases, so it means that you will have addition. So you are going to have plus sign. Okay. Next, words that mean subtract. We have difference, minus, decreased by, subtracted from, and less than. Wherein these two last clue words or phrases below are in the form of switch order, wherein you are going to write first on the right side, then you are going to go back on the left side. Okay? Next, let's have the words that mean multiply. Okay? So the first is product, times, and twice or times 2. Or sometimes we also have thrice or 3 times or times 3. Okay? So you have to take note of these clue words and phrases so that later you can use this in translation of our problem so that you can make your equations by simply applying your knowledge in these clue words and phrases. Okay? So for our example problem number 1, we have two numbers have a sum of 25. One number is 5 more than the other number. Find the numbers. Okay? So just like on the problems that we have on our previous topics, the first thing that you are going to do is, of course, to analyze the problem. Then after analyzing, you are going to have your representation, wherein you are going to assign variables for you to find for the missing unknown in the given problem. So since we are going to find for the numbers, and this topic is all about the system of linear equations in two variables, so we are going to use the variables x and y since we are familiar with those two variables. Okay? So since we are going to find for the numbers, and in the problem it is stated that two numbers, so therefore our representation may be our x will be the first number and our y will be the second number. Then after having a representation, you are going to have your equations. Okay? Of course, you are going to have two equations because again, this is under the topic of system of linear equations. Okay? So for our equation, let us analyze this statement that two numbers have a sum of 25. Okay, so we have here the word sum. So on the previous slide, I have given to you the clue words and phrases in different operations. So sum means addition. So two numbers have a sum of 25. If we are going to translate in mathematical equation, will be x plus y is equal to 25. Okay? And then on the second statement, we have one number is 5 more than the other number. So for us to have our equation here, we may have x equals 5 plus y. Because we have here one number, for example, is x, is so equals 5 more than the other number. More than means addition. And then, we have here plus. So, the other number, of course, is y. Okay. So, since we already have our two equations, so we now have the system. So, from the given equations, you are going to think of the methods that is appropriate for us to use. What do you think is that method? Yes, you are going to solve this using substitution. Correct. And then, by substitution, we will have here 5 plus y because it means that we have x is equal to 5 plus y. So this means this is our x. Then plus y equals 25. Okay, so I hope you can still remember substitution method. Then you will just proceed in algebraic solution. So 2y comes from our y plus y. So that's why we have here 2y. Then plus 5 equals 25. Then you will have 2y equals 20 because you are going to apply addition property. So your positive 5 here, when you write on the other side of the equation, will become negative 5. So 25 minus 5 is 20. And then you will have here y is equal to 10 because you are going to divide both sides of the equation by 2 so that you can obtain the value of your y, which is 10. Okay? And then you are going to have the other numbers. So since our y is 10, so you are going to substitute 10 in place of y. So we will have here to find for x. So x plus 10 equals 25. So you will have here x is equal to 25 minus 10. Therefore, your x is equal to 15. So you do not have to write this as an ordered pair because sometimes if you have different representation, for example, your x will be the second number and your y will be the first number. So therefore, if you are going to have that representation, your x will be 10 and your y will be 15. So that's why in solving the worded problems, you do not have to express your answer as an ordered pair. Okay? So, did you get number 1? Okay? So, let's proceed with number 2. Example 2. The difference of two numbers is 6. Their sum is 30. Find the two numbers. Okay? So, you have again to have your representation. So, you will have, yes, again, we have x is our first number and our y will be the second number. And from the problem, we have the difference of two numbers is 6. Difference means subtraction. Okay? So, again, difference means subtraction. So, that's why you will have minus sign. So, our first equation will be x minus y equals 6. Okay? On the second statement, we have here, their sum is 30. So, therefore, you are going to have, yes, addition because of the word sum. Okay? So, that's why you will have x plus y equals 30. Okay? So, we already have our two equations. So, what do you think will be the appropriate method to use for you to solve our system? Yes, you are going to solve that using elimination method. Because as you have seen, we have the opposite coefficients on the variable y. So that's why it is more appropriate if you are going to use elimination method. So there we have it. So you are going to have cancellation or elimination of negative y and positive y here. Then add the remaining parts of the equation. So you will obtain 2x, or x plus x is 2x. Then 6 plus 30 is 36. And then you are going to divide both sides of the equation by 2. So you will obtain x is equal to 18. Okay? And then you are going to solve for y. Okay? Then you will just substitute x in place or 18 in place of x. And then, you will obtain y is equal to 12. Okay? Any question? Okay, so let's proceed with number 3. The sum of two numbers is 15. One number is 4 times the other. Find the numbers. Okay? So, what will be our representation? Yes, you can still use x will be the first number and our y will be the second number. How about our equations? Okay, so let's have the first equation. The sum of two numbers is 15. What is your equation there? Correct. We have x plus y equals 15. For the second equation, we have one number is 4 times the other. What do you think is our equation there? Correct. We have x equals 4y. And then, we are going to solve now. So, what method is applicable? Of course, you are going to use substitution because we have here already x is equal to 4y. So, ang x daw ay equal na sa 4y. So, therefore, you are going to substitute 4y in place of x. Then, we will have here 4y plus y equals 15. And then, add the two like terms, so you will obtain 5y is equal to 15. And then, divide both sides of the equation by 5, which is the coefficient of y here. So, you will obtain y is equal to 3. Then, you are going to substitute this 3 in place of y. So, we will have x is equal to 4 times 3. So, x is equal to 12. Okay? Question? So, if you don't have, so you have to remember that for you to solve word problems, you should have the following. So, number 1, of course, is representation. You are going to analyze the problem. What are you going to find? Okay? Next, after having your representation, you are going to create your equations. Okay? 2 equations because again, our topic is under system of linear equations into variables. And then, after that, of course, having your equation, so you are going to select what method is appropriate for you to solve the problem. or the equations. So, you are going to have your solution. So, as I have said earlier, just select or choose from substitution and elimination. So, in worded problems, do not use graphing because you will have some difficulties in solving that. So, again, just use elimination or substitution method. Okay? So, after having a solution, make sure all the questions in the problem are answered. Okay? So, just like our examples, find the numbers. So, you are going to find for the two numbers. Okay? So, since you already have our steps and we already have 3 examples, so let's have this problem. So, in number 1, we have the sum of two numbers is 32. The difference between the two numbers is 8. Find the numbers. Okay. So, again, our first step is for you to have our representation. Okay. So, we will let our x will be the, let x be the first number. Okay. And of course, our y will be the second number. Okay. Then after that, let us have our equations. Okay? So on the first statement, we have the sum of two numbers is 32. What will be our equation there? Correct. We have x plus y equals 32. And then we have the difference between the two numbers is 8. Okay? So what will be our equation there? Correct. We have x minus y equals 8. So, we are going to find for the numbers. Okay. So, since we already have our equation, so what method is applicable for you to solve this? Yes, you are going to have elimination. Okay. So, for our solution, we have to use elimination. So, we have here, so eliminate positive y and negative y and then add the remaining parts of the equation. So, you will have here x plus x is 2x equals 32 plus 8 is 40. And then, divide both sides of the equation by 2. So, our x now is 20. Okay? So, since we have already the value of 20, so you are going to substitute that in place of x. So, using equation 1, which is positive, we have 20 plus y equals 32. So, y equals 32 minus 20 using addition property. So, we have here 32 minus 20 is 12. So, our y is 12 and our x is 20. So, from the problem, the sum of two numbers is 32. So, 20 plus 12 is 32 is correct. The difference between the two numbers is 8. So, 20 minus 12 is 8, which is also correct. So, we have x is 20, y is 12. Okay, question? Okay, so let's have another one. We have here, the sum of a number and twice another number is 15. The first number is 7 less than the second number. What are the numbers? Okay, so we have here again our representation. So we will let our x be the first number and our y will be the second number. And then, you are going to have your equation. So let me write here on the right side. So we have the sum of a number. So the sum of a number, which is x. And twice another number. So another number is y. Twice of it is 2y. Is, so equals 50. Okay, so that's why we have here x plus 2y equals 50. Any question? Okay, so let's have the second equation. The first number, so from our representation, our first number is x. So the first number is, so means equals 7 less than the second number. Okay, so from the slide before earlier, less than is in switch order. So you will have here 7 less than the second number. Okay, so that's why we have here the switch order. Okay, so we already have our two equations. So what do you think is the more appropriate method? Yes, we can use substitution method. So since we have here x is equal to y minus 7, so you are going to replace that with x. So we will have, for our solution, y minus 7 plus 2y equals 50. And then combine these two like terms. So you will have 3y equals 50. Addition property here will be applied. So you will have here plus 7 rather. Then 3y equals 57. And then you are going to divide both sides of the equation by 3. So what is the value of your y? Okay, so we have here y is equal to 19. Correct. So because 19 times 3 is equal to 57. So since we already have the value of our y, which is 19, so we are going to substitute this 19 in this equation. Okay, in this variable y. So we have x equals, our y will be 19 minus 7. So our x is, yes, 12. Okay? So we have the sum of a number natin will be 12. And twice another number is 50. Twice of 19 is 38. Plus 12 is 50. So we have the correct answer in the first statement. On the second statement, the first number, so our first number is x. So that is 12. Is 7 less than the second number? Mas maunti siya sa second number ng 7. So, 19 ang pangalawang number. Kaya ang 12 ay mas maunti ng 7 kaysa sa 19. Okay? Question? So, if you don't have, so I have here a sample problem that wherein you are going to solve if you have your time for you to challenge yourself. Okay, so the problem is 3 times the first number plus the second number equals 20. 5 times the first number minus the second number equals 12. Find the numbers. Okay, so you solve this using the 3 methods or the 3 steps, having your representation, 2 equations, and then you are going to solve. Okay, so that's all for this day, and thank you very much.